Roger Federer is out of the French Open. Who will join him at the exit door? Djokovic or Rafael Nadal? Both of them will be in action today. Helen, welcome. I'm Cecilia Morgman. You're watching sports this morning. Now let's just take a look at the major headlines. And of course, we're starting with the big one. Not a FIFA presently, so let's start from home. The Super Eagles, today is deadline for all the foreign-based players invited for the match against Chad to arrive camp. But the question is, how many players we have in camp right now? Toyin Bitoye will be telling us more on the program. And also on the show, we'll be talking about FIFA. Well, they are in search of another president. So who is the right man to restore integrity to that organization? And Diego Costa, he's the happiest player at Stamford Bridge right now. And according to the real happy one, his unhappiness actually destroys the dressing room. So he will ensure that he is always happy. Now, Sepp Blatter decided to bow to pressure yesterday after 17 years as president. Now, we'll take a look at this report where he had to follow all the unfolding events before he finally made that decision at a press conference yesterday.
Bien que les membres de la FIFA m'aient conféré ce nouveau mandat, ce mandat n'a pas le soutien de l'intégralité du monde du football, et j'entends par là des supporters, des joueurs, des clubs, de tous ceux qui vivent, qui respirent et aiment le football autant que nous tous à la FIFA. C'est pourquoi je remettrai mon mandat à disposition lors d'un congrès électif extraordinaire. Cette décision prendra effet le plus tôt possible, à savoir la date à laquelle un nouveau président pourra être choisi par le congrès de la FIFA pour me succéder. Je continuerai d'exercer mes fonctions en tant que président de la FIFA, normal jusqu'à l'organisation de ces prochaines élections.
Well, that's Sepp Blatter, talking about his resignation, the reason he had to step down. Some people accepted it, not everybody actually accept the fact that he was voted, and at the end of the day, he had to bow the pressure, and he had to just do the needful. He stepped down. Chinase Boyen joins me now. Chinase, good morning.
Good morning, Cecilia. Very, very important story. You know, it happened yesterday. Nobody saw it coming, and well, lots of mixed reactions. If he should have quit, if he should have just done that before, before the elections. You know, different opinions. So he was saying he wanted to show that he could actually, you know, get re-elected. But I think the pressure was too much.
Too much on him.
You know, at the end of the day, looking at the fact that he's the head of the organization, he's saying that he's not been indicted rather for anything. But the thing is, we've seen big corporations all around the world. I remember when the Depression happened, I think in 2007 or so, where some companies had to go on there. And most of the CEOs immediately, things like that started happening, they had to take the fall. You know, immediately resigned and something. But Blatter, maybe he's not from that school of thought. He doesn't agree that he should be indicted for something that he's not a part of. But it's funny, but he is. It shows that incompetence if you are head of an organization and a lot of corruption and bribery allegations and a whole lot of other things going on, and you say you don't know about it. That alone has indicted you. It shows you're not really in charge. You know, of what is happening. Is like a coach, his team is losing, and he's like, I don't know why they're losing. Okay. I'm doing my best. I'm telling them what to do, but they are not translating it on the pitch. Losing, you know, so it's been a while coming now. We were expecting it. We thought he would, you know, go down before the elections. He would stand down, but apparently he did. He got re-elected, and now he decided to step down. But the thing is, it's pertinent to note that he's not stepping down immediately. A lot of people are misconstruing that. They think because they hear Blatter resigns or Blatter to resign that he's left. No, he's not leaving now. They will have an extraordinary Congress. I think that they can't have anyone from now till November. So it's going to be between December 2015 and March 2016. It's going to be between those dates. That is when they would have the extraordinary Congress, and then we might start seeing. We might have an idea who will replace Sepp Blatter. So he's still going to be FIFA president at least till the end of the year. You know, so,
or maybe till May next year, or
if nothing, changes,
yeah,
I hope it doesn't change his mind or something. But well, it's good. We're talking about Sepp Blatter. What has been his saving grace, or what has been what has given him goodwill? Definitely Africa and the Asian countries. Because if you prior to Havelange, prior to 1974, the FIFA body was sort of like a Eurocentric thing. You know, it wasn't that inclusive. It was basically
just have seven countries hosting
the powerhouses hosting the World Cup now. Key decisions and everything. It was just basically the powerhouses in Europe and the big boys in South America.
The big boys in South America. Don't you think the inclusion of so many people in the executive committee, because some of the things Sepp Blatter said yesterday while he was announcing that he was going to step down is the fact that he said you have too many people at the executive committee, and a situation they're going to raise it by a situation whereby that will be reduced. That's part of the reforms they want to make in FIFA, and after the reduction of that, then whenever you're electing anybody into that executive committee, it has to go through a FIFA ethics committee. It will not just be the confederation that will just nominate and somebody comes in. So if it's reduced, is it going to affect some African countries or what?
No, we don't know that yet, you know. So these are some of the things why a lot of the Africans were actually behind Sepp Blatter, because of the fact that they've always been included since the Havelange years till now, you know. And talking about the fact that the executive committee now they would have to, you know, reshuffle that and maybe reform it. But the thing is that I feel Blatter and Havelange, they've done enough for Africa in the aspect where Africa and Asia, I'm not them to talk about Africa alone, even the Asians now have a voice. You know, come on, it's his challenger this time around, or his competitor was an Asian, Prince Ali, and he might come back to run again, you know. So I think it's now very inclusive. I think the aim has been achieved. You know, so
having a kind of a global FIFA, so to speak.
It's not. I don't think we'll go back to the days of.
It's still going to be like all-inclusive kind of FIFA, despite the fact that maybe executive members might be reduced. They might have fewer members, and of course, a situation whereby some countries who may not really have what it takes to host a World Cup, like the Qatar issue right now, that is being investigated by the Swiss authority, the bidding for the Russia and the Qatar World Cup and all that. We now have some smaller countries. When you look at where they're from and maybe their weather, their climate and economic situation and all that, maybe such countries you think they may not really be able to host it, because that's where
economic situation I can understand, but I don't like nobody should tell me anything about weather, because it's not the country's fault that they're situated in that part of the world, you know. Let's even talk about Qatar now. Who are really complaining? It's the Europeans that are complaining, you know. You put the World Cup in your country during your summer years, summer season, which for some Africans it might still be cold, and everybody still goes to play the World Cup. They'll go ahead and play it. So the Australian Open in tennis is always hot. You know, players they complain, but they still go there and play. So if Qatar, don't tell me if they have the capabilities of hosting, you know, if they have the financial capabilities and every other thing, the structure, everything is in place. Come on, I won't buy the fact that the fact is hot.
Domenico Scala is one of the FIFA Executive Committee members, and of course he will be the one that actually take a look at what will happen in FIFA. He talks about the fact that, well, the elections definitely hold, but they actually will have to follow FIFA regulation, and it will not hold after 4 months. Let's just listen to him.
Based upon the FIFA statutes, a 4-month notice is required for any presidential elections to be held. FIFA must also consider appropriate time to vet candidates and allow them to present their ideas for the organization and set forth their vision. Therefore, while the decision on timing of the extraordinary Congress and election of a new president will ultimately be up to the Executive Committee, the expectation is that this could take place any time from December of this year to March of next year.
Okay, that's Domenico Scala talking about what's going to happen in FIFA in the next, 4, 5, 6 months. Hopefully in May or December, you might just have a new FIFA president. Now, Amaju Pinnick was on our flagship news bulletin last night talking about, well, what's going to happen now that Sepp Blatter will no longer be there. Remember, he was one of those who actually supported his re-election, his 5th term election. on Friday. Let's listen to Amaju.
Blatter has been somebody that is so very passionate about the game, and he's been there for 40 years, and being in FIFA, holding that very key responsibility, he built it beyond people's comprehension. But beyond that, you know, football is a game of peace. Football is where he doesn't want turmoil. He feels there are so many extreme positions, and he doesn't want to be at the center of it. So he decided at that point, you know, to throw in the towel. And beyond that, you also know that football is very massive business. That brings the issue of integrity and transparency and probity, you know, because people are talking about corruption. We all know that corruption, even though it's not Amaju Pinnick supporting, it's the continent of Africa and beyond. He should be applauded, he should be commended for taking the decision, because he came out to say that even though he got the mandate of the Congress, he did not get the mandate from other stakeholders, for example, the players and other football audience. So he decided that for the sake of FIFA and for the good of the game, he decided to throw in the towel.